Steve, it's so nice to be here with you today. You know
awesome.
Me, but for anyone watching, I'm Becca. I'm a yacht broker marketing expert, and I just wanted to get to know you a little today, and also, hear a little bit about you, about your business. Why don't you give us a general overview? Tell us how you got into yachting in the first place.
For sure. Well, obviously, I'm Steve McPherson, and I'm a broker that works with ACY. I've been in the business for about 35 years.
Wow.
Owned my own business, at my own brokerage and dealership, as well as a marina. Kind of moved away from that when my business was acquired by ACY, and I came aboard as just a broker, which has really been a lot of fun because it's a way to kind of incorporate everything that I've learned over the years in the entirety of the industry and kind of bring it more into focus as it relates to buying boats.
That's amazing. Do you have a specialty, a focus?
I was trained as an engineer, so typically I focus in on the technical aspects of the boat more so than just the aesthetics. The aesthetics are important, but one of the reasons my dealership chose Fountain Peugeot was because of the technical aspects of the boat, the way the boats were built, and just the general level of engineering and technical support that was available through FP, and that kind of drew me to them. We became FP dealers for several years before we made this move with ACY.
That's awesome. What are some really special aspects of FP?
I mean, I think really it's the overall design scheme of the boat. Brokerage, who are the designers, the naval architects and interior designers of the boats, have just been absolutely groundbreaking in how they've developed the luxury cruising catamaran market for FP. They're exclusive to FP for the catamaran market, and have just really kind of constantly pushing the envelope. So much so that our new 41 and 44 are really groundbreaking. They are the next level in catamarans and cruising catamarans, where they've really incorporated performance, an incredible level of comfort and style. The boats just have style to them. Everyone that's been aboard the boat here in Cannes has had nothing but the highest praise for them. So it's really been amazing.
Okay, and we're sitting on the 44?
47.
We're sitting on the 47.
We're on the FP47, which is an older design. The reason we're on this boat is because it's getting the least amount of use here in Cannes.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So it was the perfect place to kind of sit and have a chat. But the 41 and 44 we couldn't sit on because they are absolutely
packed.
Overwhelmed. Yes.
Okay, tell us, if you had to choose one, I know it's hard, but if you had to choose one, what's your favorite FP?
That's not fair. That's choosing your favorite kid.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
They all have strengths.
Okay.
And each boat fits perfectly into certain uses, plans, what people want to do with the boat.
Tell us a little bit about each one, and then we got to know price.
Okay. So our smallest boat, the 41, which is a new introduction this year, kind of does it all for a cruising couple. Okay. It's a smaller platform, but still really big. It has a master suite that runs the entire hull length, and then 2 additional guest cabins, plenty of room, really incredible walk-through cockpit and into the galley,
nice.
Which is the new design scheme that we're implementing across the whole line.
Sorry.
So,
there was someone walking by. I was causing him.
Stop.
Okay, and the price on the 41?
So the 41, obviously it's all dependent on how many options you put on and which option. That boat is also available in the Odyssey Plus, which is an all-electric drive system, which does drive the price up a little bit. So that boat's going to price out somewhere between $600,000 and $900,000 US. The base price is not the real price. Really, the boat has to be delivered, commissioned, transported to North America or your point of delivery. So that does affect price. So you might see quotes much lower than that, but that's not a real price. I think we're really looking at around $800,000 to $900,000 as a delivered price for that boat.
Okay, and then talk to me about the step up.
Step up from there is a 44.
Yep.
Shares all the same design elements.
New, right?
Brand new. Brand new
yep.
design. And it's a sister ship to the 41. Has the same design scheme, shares much of the same layout and design features is just a bigger version of that.
Cool.
It did allow us to change some of the things in the master suite to make that different, bigger. There's 2 configurations
Nice.
that we offer with the head in that boat. So it's kind of something where we have the option to make it fit perfectly for a particular use.
Sure.
So that's going to be a game changer too. And that boat, the real difference between that and the 44 is the fly bridge. It has not a fly bridge, I'm sorry, an upper deck lounge. And there's a sun deck space on the 41, not a full lounge. There's a full lounge on the 44.
Got it. And price on that?
Price on that's going to be right around 1 to 1.2 million.
Okay. And then
All US dollars, in US dollars.
47.
47, which we're on now, is being phased out.
Okay.
So the 45 and 47 are being phased out to make room for the new models. The 44, there's a 48 we're coming out with
Nice.
later this year, and then a 55 after that. So all incorporating the new design layouts and scheme that we've got in the 41 and 44. So this particular boat won't be available in the market other than from a used perspective beyond this year. We've got a few boats left, so it's if somebody's looking for a 47, this is a great time to buy one because they are being phased out. So the boats we have available are at a discount. But this will be the end of the 47. Although it'll be great on the brokerage market. These boats will continue to come back, and it's just a perfect platform.
So let's talk about brokerage versus new a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know you sell both.
Yep.
Beyond the price, which is the obvious difference, what's the benefit of doing brokerage over new?
It all boils down to cost.
Sure.
Barrier to entry. With boating, obviously there is always a barrier to entry. At some point, your assets may not be enough to cover the boat you really want that's new, but you can get something very close that's used. And particularly with the catamarans, a well taken care of catamaran retains its value very well. And we've seen some fairly dynamic pricing over the past few years in new boats, particularly post-COVID. Boats became very, very expensive, new boats. And that's made the used boat market very attractive because those boats were purchased at a time when the base price of the boat was 30% less.
Right.
So we're in a position now where a used 47, new 47, there's a fairly significant price differential that makes the used boat very attractive and makes it available to a much broader spectrum of buyers. So it's really the brokerage market makes boats available to more people.
Right. Okay, let's see. So you've been in the business for 35 years. That's very, very...
A long time.
I wasn't going to say long. I was going to say
call me old-timer if you want.
No. You obviously have developed an incredible skill set. What makes working with you different than working with other brokers?
As always, it's a lot of sales, and particularly something as important as a lifestyle purchase like this. It really boils down to the person and your connection with that person.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of brokers get it wrong. For them, it's a transaction. You're just basically selling the next boat. You finish this one, you move on to the next one. There's no continuation of relationship. These aren't people that you engage with over time. And I've kind of built my business, and now obviously in this role, really around the relationships. I mean, these are people that I try and learn as much as I can about them, so I understand what the right boat for them is, and how we're going to make maybe not the perfect boat, but pretty damn close to it that fits with what they want to do. And as opposed to just saying, here's the 5 boats that I have, particularly in the brokerage market, I've got one of these, come look at it. I'll actually go out and do a real search after our lengthy conversations to find the right boat for them, whether it be in the Med, whether it be in the BVIs, whether it's in Maine. It doesn't really matter because boats of this caliber and value are you're going to search the world for the right boat. And certainly as technology is changing, years past, buying a European boat was problematic because of the 50 hertz, 60 hertz dilemma. That's become much less of an issue, and we have easy ways to work around it through new technology and incorporating some new technology into an older boat that makes that boat more usable as well. And that most of this revolves around lithium-ion systems, high output alternators, and solar charging.
That was my next question. I wanted to talk a little bit about sustainability. You know, people want to buy from brands that support, you know, the same beliefs and values.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's really, really important. So one thing that's, you know, very hot and for a good reason in yachting is sustainability.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that.
So one thing that FP excels at, because of our CEO, Romain Marteau, he's focused solely on being green, trying to get to zero carbon emissions,
Amazing.
doing everything we can as a manufacturer to reduce our footprint. He basically started the initiative to build an all-electric powered boat, understanding that we were going to have to develop new technology to do that.
Right.
Because what was available wasn't really the solution.
Yeah.
So we actually, FP
Yeah.
purchased an electric motor company basically, and that was producing electric engines for commercial vessels in Europe, particularly in France. And we basically purchased them because they understood what was necessary to build a boat in a marine environment, or build a drive in a marine environment.
Right.
And then use that expertise with our expertise to design the perfect system for the cruising catamaran. We've since basically, that technology is being sold, licensed, whatever, to other manufacturers. So you'll see that introduced on other brands going forward. We've seen, a few Leopards now have our technology. So you're going to see more and more of this over the next few years. In addition to that, the initiatives internally in manufacturing, all the way down to the point that we don't allow plastic water bottles in our facilities. There's coolers, water coolers, and paper cups, and you can drink all the water you want, and you can bring an aluminum water bottle from home, but don't bring in a plastic water bottle. It's to that level that we're watching our impact on our footprint on the sustainability.
Really incredible.
And there's so much more, but I could go on forever. But
no,
I
think that's amazing. I think especially I didn't realize that it was being licensed to manufacturers like Leopard.
Yeah.
That's really something cool.
Again, it's a technology that we're obviously the leader in.
Sure.
And it was important for us to lead and to be the first to market. But it's too good to keep just to ourselves. And we need to basically continue to evolve this technology. And to do that, we need people to be buying the technology besides just for our boats.
Sure.
So it's kind of a two-way street.
Share the love.
To really make this work, we need more implementation, because the more implementation, the better our systems are going to get. So.
Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about market trends. I'm hearing it's a buyer's market at the moment. What do you think?
It's really hard to say. Because there's obviously lots of talk about the market softening and things are getting quiet. Honestly, in North America, this has been our most active year in a long time. The Miami Boat Show, this past Miami Boat Show, was a record show for us. We're about to head into the Annapolis Boat Show. We have expectation
when is
that's in 3 weeks in October.
In October, okay.
So it'll be the first week in October, around the 9th.
Great.
And that show will also have the 41 and 44 there. So
Great.
if anybody's interested in seeing it in North America, that's a way to do it. But I think it's a buyer's market. It's not so much a seller's market or a buyer's market right now.
Okay.
It's back to where it's a neutral market.
Okay.
It might be a buyer's market if you're looking for an older model or a transitioning model, like we were talking about the 47.
Sure.
That's a great position to be in. If that's what you want, you're in a good negotiating position. I think for new boats, the new models, it's going to be a seller's market for those boats, because we're already booked out, over a year in production on the 2 new boats we just introduced. So you realize that there is huge demand for a new design, new technology, people that more sustainable, that have more sustainable energy consumption and usage.
Sure.
So I think that's what we're going to see the trending over the next few years for sure.
Okay, great to know. What do you think is the biggest mistake a boat buyer could make?
Besides not buying a boat from me, I think probably not doing their homework.
Okay.
Or not using a broker.
A knowledgeable broker.
There's always been, we don't need a broker. They're just in it for the money. It's not true. Most of us have made a career out of this. This is a lifetime of knowledge that you can't get from the internet. There's certain things you can learn by going online,
sure.
And there's
But
certain things you have to learn by doing.
Yep.
Having done this for 30 years, I've watched the evolution of yacht design. I've been part of that. I've been on several manufacturers' boards to help them kind of move forward with their designs from the user perspective, like what do people want, and what do dealers need to be sure that you have a marketable product. So I think having someone that not only has a personality that you can connect with and someone you trust, but someone that has a depth of knowledge in the industry is super important. And if you just finding, what we see a lot of people do is they see a boat online and they just call the broker that has it listed. Not always the best thing. Because you're not necessarily dealing with somebody that knows that boat or even knows
or you.
And certainly doesn't care and doesn't necessarily care about you, other than from the perspective of I want to sell you this boat, and then we're done. So most of my clients are people that I've been selling boats to over the years. I've sold 2, 3, 4 boats to, because we have a connection. I understand them. They understand that I'm really working for them.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's my job to find them what they want, not to sell them what I have.
Right.
And
if you're listing their boat, you don't get paid until that boat sells.
No, in brokerage, again, if a broker takes a listing, there's no money until the boat sells.
Right.
So obviously, if from a listing broker's perspective, it's just about getting it out the door. As a buyer's broker, my responsibility is to find the right boat for the client.
Got it.
And I don't get paid till we sell a boat.
Right.
But that's okay, because we have we got plenty of time. I'm not desperate for money. We can make this work. I'm a successful broker, so we have time. And it's important to find the right boat, not go for the first thing you find.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Steve.
No,
it's been
my
such
pleasure.
a pleasure.
Love talking to you, and great to do this talk.
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
So,
okay, that was great.